Welcome, everybody. Welcome. Appreciate you guys getting on. I'm excited to do this training. My name is Scott Bent. If you don't know me, I'm a national director with Total Life Changes and Team Shaw. Been with TLC for a little over 5 years. Brand new national director. Feel blessed just to be a part of this company, to be a part of this team. It is exciting times in Total Life Changes. And if you just recently connected with the company, I promise you, you got connected with the company at one of the best times that I have seen since being inside of TLC. I had just said to a couple people earlier that it was very reminiscent of a time back in November of 2014, right before there was this huge explosion in TLC where literally thousands and thousands of people joined. And it just feels like that time as we lead into Thanksgiving time and Christmas season and New Year's resolutions. It just really, I just feel like we are about to hit another one of those explosions. I'm going to try to be brief. We always have a 9 o'clock Zoom, so I want to try to get through this information. We do want to take questions, so I will leave some time for that. So let's go ahead and get started. The Purple Book is something that TLC has begun doing not long ago. It is a part of the new starter kit, which is an amazing thing. They are working on making updates to the Purple Book. You could download a digital version of this in the back office. I just actually looked today just to make sure, but it's currently not there because they are making some changes. So this is the current information that we have, but I know that they're working on making that better. So if you cannot find it or locate it, or if they make some changes about several different things, don't be surprised on that. As soon as we get the newest copy, we will make that available as a part of the training. But this has some really good information in it. You should go through it yourself, and you should go through it with any new business partner that you have. I'm not going to get as specific as I normally do on this because you should walk through this yourself. We do have a digital version of it available in the Team Shaw file section of that group on Facebook. So you can download that yourself and walk through it and fill this out. But step one is really about your personal goals and your information, making sure that you keep track of what your life changer ID is. Sometimes you'll hear people call it your IBO number, your ID number. It is the 7 or 8 digit number that identifies you with Total Life Changes, and you need to know that information. It becomes almost like your TLC Social Security number, so keep track of that. You should know the password to log into your back office, and I will, again, be logging in there as well just to take a look. And then you should know your unique website URL. And so whatever it is, you can get there several different ways. TLC is utilizing retail.totallifechanges.com currently. And then it'll be whatever you put after that. Mine is Bent, my last name, B-E-N-T. That's how you get to my website. You should set your smart ship. You should really focus on being a product of the product. And on this team, we highly encourage a smart ship as a way of making sure that you stay active. Every 30 days, you need an order, and a smart ship is a great way to make that happen, either 40, 80, or 120. We obviously encourage 120 because of so many different reasons, and we've talked about that several times, and I'll touch on it later. You should set your business goals, how many hours you're going to work in your business a week, anywhere from 0, and I hope that's not the number, all the way up to over 20 hours. You've got to dedicate time to this, and that's real work. I mean, there's a difference between being active and being productive. There's two different things. Just because you post on social media, that's not necessarily putting in real work. Sometimes it can produce some fruit, but that's a very short and small and simple thing. There's some income producing activities that you should be focused on. One of those is becoming a product of the product, by the way, making sure you utilize these products. Jackie Birchfield shared on her 4 o'clock Zoom today. She has in 10 months lost 90 pounds utilizing these products. 90 pounds. We have many stories on this team. Larry McKissick, 95 pounds. Angela Jackson, 145 pounds. Calvin Clay, 200 pounds. But it's not just about weight loss. It's about other things as well. your energy, your vitality, the way that your skin looks, how the rest that you get is. There's so many opportunities for such a great transformation of your life, not just about your waist or waist. Some of y'all will get that on the way home. What are your health goals? Weight loss, improving your diet, your mood, your energy, detoxing. What else? Fill this out. Again, also, this is really important. I can't stress this part enough. What are the reasons why you joined TLC? What was it that motivated you, that moved you to join TLC, and what will move you to actually do the work that it takes to get where it is that you want to get to? I mean, it literally might just be as simple as covering your cell phone on a monthly basis, all the way up to you buying your dream home. It could be about setting up a legacy for your children, or it could be covering your grocery bill on a monthly basis. Whatever those things are, whatever those reasons are, put those down on paper and share those with the person who got you connected with TLC so that they can understand it and help you achieve those goals. And then also remind you of them when sometimes it's not easy to always stay on trainings or get on Zooms or do what it is that you need to do. Make sure you're subscribed to the TLC newsletter. Make sure that you are subscribed to them on all social media channels. They have a lot of different social media options. And so if you can think of it, they probably have it. Down here are the major ones are listed, but I believe they're on TikTok now. I mean, they're really social media heavy right now, but we're going to keep moving. That's step one, your personal goals and information. The next one is step two. If I can get this to act right, we'll get to step two, product education and sampling. Sampling is a huge part of who TLC is right now, and it's heavily weighted towards what they're doing as far as how they're communicating to people about what they're making available for us. I remember being at a time when you couldn't, it was almost impossible to sample people certain things because we did not have the great packaging that we have now. We didn't have the great system that we have now. And so this is not only going to be great for you to be able to share samples with people literally free, or for them to cover the cost of shipping it, but it's also going to show new business partners. It's going to show other people how easily duplicatable this is. This is something that anybody can do. So you should all download the 5 and 5 app. If you have not downloaded it, in your first 30 days, it is free for you to use. After that, you either need the premium back office, which is $19.95 a month. I only suggest that for people who are not only building a team, but have a significant team already, or you can pay $19.95 and get lifetime access to the app after your 30 days. And again, be clear, most other companies charge you on a monthly basis for your website. So TLC, the fact that they're only charging these small little things is very, very different than other people. But the app itself is how they're communicating about so many different things. We have tea, instant tea, NRG. Delgado coffee is available, but it's not in the app yet, but it is coming. And we just got word that the next product is our CBD instant tea to be available for sampling. So get the sampling app, get the TLC Pay app. These are the two apps that you should really get and stay focused on. One, you got to get paid. And two, this is going to be your opportunity to create how you get paid. Inside of the app, there are scripts on how you can talk to people. There are reminders that you can follow up with people. There are videos that you can send to people. There is so much information inside of this app. It also gives you access to your back office as well. So this app is how TLC is doing business right now. You should also review these pieces of information: the brand and culture guide, the family success guide, the top 5 product guide, as well as review the product fact sheets. If you want good product knowledge, go through those fact sheets. You can get to those in the back office. If you got a physical starter kit, you should have gotten these 3 in your kit when it was mailed to you. And these are available in the back office. And I'll show you how you can get to all of them, honestly. Write down a list of people that you can send samples to, or other products as well. You're looking for the people that you're going to connect with on a product basis. and then figure out how you're going to follow up with them. But again, review this sheet, this purple book yourself. Step 3, team building and engagement. Set your goals on, excuse me, on what rank you're going to hit. Setting those goals not only is just a random thing, you should understand what it takes to reach each of these 3 goals that they give you. An apprentice, a director, a rising star. I remember when I joined, we didn't actually have apprentice or rising star. Becoming a director was pretty major. Becoming executive director was huge and was a difficult task, except for on this team. It's not so difficult when you've got a teamwork with it. But set your goals. Become binary qualified as quickly as you can. And the way that this team teaches it is so smart, because it's looking out for you. And a lot of people don't listen to this. You may not have listened to this, and you have an opportunity to do it still. Put 2 people you love in these 2 spots. Your mother, your sister, your cousin, your significant other, your 18-year-old child. Remember, the child has to be 18 or older. But 2 people that you love in these spots, because these are the most valuable spots in your organization. As you continue to build your business, these spots are going to win by default. So it's a really good idea for you to get binary qualified, for you to sponsor 2 people that you know and that you love, especially if they're going to sign up themselves. Even if they're not, find a way for you to do it. You will not regret it, and they certainly will love you for it later on. Make sure you get accurate information, not only for your sponsor, but for the 2 people above them as well. So anyone, the person that sponsored you, the person that sponsored them, and then your regional director, your national director, your global director, get information so that you can be able to contact them should you need to. Follow up with your sponsor and share with them your top 10 reasons, especially your top 3 out of those top 10, your personal goals, your income goals, and also some of your work history and the amount of time that you're going to dedicate to your business. What you did in the past sometimes translates very well into TLC or into some of the stuff we do as a team. Figure out how you're going to launch your business. This is a launch call. Everybody's not going to do a launch call. That's not necessarily good for everyone. A call may be it, but Zoom might be it. A home party might be it. You may launch it on social media. You may do it at an event where you're doing a pop-up shop or you're vending at the event. Figure out how you're going to launch your business. If you don't have a grand opening, you're not really in business. So again, review that book when you get an opportunity. I'm going to move to another set of information that I'm also going to go through quickly. Again, if you have questions, I highly encourage you to write those down so we get to them. But I want to make sure I get through a couple key pieces of information on this PowerPoint and then get into the back office, where I will allow questions once we're in the back office. But let's get through this first, because I don't want to miss anything, especially as it relates to how we build as a team. All right, the slides here, I will go right into. All right, the foundation is what I call this group of things. Stay active. Retail is a must. Your residual income, staying connected, and experiencing TLC. Staying active, I've already talked about this. Your personal order every 30 days or you will not get paid. But it's not just that you won't get paid. The person who sponsored you might not get paid. And somebody above that may not get paid. See, in TLC, we're connected 2 levels up and 2 levels down in a very intricate way. And TLC has just changed their policy about this. They're not giving the grace periods that they used to. They're not allowing people to place an order afterwards and get that thing corrected. So stay active. Set a smart ship is the best thing for you to do. And if you're not going to do that, if you're going to be stubborn, and that's really what it is, and say, I'm not going to set a smart ship, because you can set up a smart ship, put your commission to points, and it'll never touch your card if you're working your business. But you have to stay active in a business. I mean, I've never had a business in my entire life that was this cheap to operate. I mean, you don't have to pay for your website. You don't have to pay for so many different things that the typical business requires. And for this, you get the product that you can sell or that you can take. So I'm not big on excuses when it comes to staying active. But I'll tell you, if you're not going to set a smart ship, you better make sure you have a personal order every 30 days. And sometimes that day changes if the month was 31 days versus 30. So don't play with this, because you're going to cost yourself money and you're going to cost other people money as well. Next is retailing is a must. There's no way around this. Building a team is a beautiful thing. Residual income is a beautiful thing. But the way that we do business is by moving products. And that is you taking products, you creating a team that takes products, and you having customers that take products. Whether you're holding parties, meetings, you're selling products on social media, you're sampling and selling in your day-to-day life at work, with family, with friends, you have to retail product. That is a part of the process. And again, there's easier ways and there's harder ways to do it. I see people that do it so effortlessly and some people that have to put in work. But you have to get the product in people's hands for your business to grow. And these products are amazing. People need them, so make sure you're getting them out there. The next is the residual income side of TLC. I just mentioned positioning two people, one on your left, one on your right. Get two people that you love. I highly encourage that. If you don't want to do that or you're not going to do that, you still need to sponsor two people, one on your left side, one on your right side, for you to become binary qualified. And then help those two people get two people. That would be completing your core. And I'll talk about that in a moment. This is a big foundation, your core, for your building of your residual income. On this team, if you build a core, I mean, one, it's going to be celebrated, but two, it's going to be recognized that you're really, moving in the right direction. And that is literally you sponsoring two and helping them to get two. That's not you sponsoring these two and then sponsoring the two on underneath the left side and the two underneath the right side. That's 6 people that you sponsored. That's not going to get anybody paid but you. That's another conversation, though. Stay connected, whether it's in the Facebook groups like Team Shaw, TLC One Team. There's a Facebook communities for all sorts of things. There's the Women Are Heroes group. There's the TLC Men's Network. Stay connected in the Facebook groups. Stay connected to leaders on this team and in TLC, especially the ones that connect in with who you are. Follow them on Facebook, become friends with them on Facebook if you can, but it's okay just to follow someone and get on their lives. Look at what it is that they're posting, what it is that they're doing. Success leaves clues. You can take a look at what somebody else is doing and you can duplicate that. Around here, we don't care if you copy and paste our posts. You can take exactly what I post and you can post it on your page. Jackie doesn't care if you do that. Zeta doesn't care if you do that. Phil Squires doesn't care if you do that. You can literally just copy what we do and share it on your page. It may hit different for you than it does for one of us, on the good side or the bad side. I've seen myself post something that did okay and then somebody else posted it and they got way more interaction than I did. And I've seen somebody post something that I posted and then the crickets wouldn't even like it. But follow the leaders, see what they're doing. The TLC website, stay connected with that. TLC puts new specials, new different things inside of the website, all kinds of, at all different times. So you can stay connected to different news, but also new products, new things, and as well as the changes that are going on with the website. They've done some really great things with these new websites. And then lastly is YouTube. You can stay connected with the culture of TLC through TLC's YouTube page, but also Philip Birchfield's YouTube page, which I'll give you that address in just a second. And then there's a great YouTube videos throughout the YouTube, what I call YouTube University. If you need product knowledge, if you need to learn how to invite people, how to build the business, there's YouTube videos for it out there. So stay connected. If you are not hanging around with TLC people, if you're not constantly talking to TLC people, the goals are different. The attitude is different. You're not going to be feeling the vibe of TLC because you're not around people that have those same like-minded goals. So stay connected. The next and the last thing for the foundation is you got to experience TLC. You have to get your own story with the products. I mean, this is so important for you to have a passion for these products. The most successful people that I know love these products. They're going to take them regardless. I mean, did you see Rick post his before and after picture? And that dude busted out there with that six-pack. I was like, go Rick, go Rick. What's going on? They don't even have CBD and Rick busting up there with all them abs. We ain't got no excuse down here in the U.S. Way to go, Rick. But you got to get your own story. Like I said, those people that I just shared about their amazing testimonies, there's a John Ramsell down in Little Rock who literally said, I'm not going to take any medication for this arthritis. I'm going to use these products, and he hasn't needed it. His mobility has got better. His story is incredible. I mean, you just have story after story of people who just love these products, and those are the ones that are successful. Some of you all won't order some of these products. You're curious about them. You hear people talk about them, but because you won't invest in yourself and in your business, you can't get that story, or you can't really share with someone else that they should try it because you don't have an experience with it. And the ones that get the most retail sales and the ones that I've seen be the most successful are the people that use the product. And I don't know if you guys heard Jackie on the 4 o'clock. Well, I said, which products did you use? And she named like 15 products. I mean, not literally 15, but it was a lot of different products that she utilized. And all of them good, all of them natural. I mean, again, what are you going to choose to spend your money on? It's your choice, but you got to experience TLC for yourself. You can share other people's testimonies and the stories in the beginning when you first connect with TLC. But if you don't eventually get your own story, people are not going to believe you because they're not going to see a change in you. So why would they believe that they should try it? All right, so I'm going to keep rolling. Building a core, this is what I mentioned. You positioning two. This is you at the top, you positioning two. One on your left, one on your right, and you helping these two people each sponsor two people. This is what a core looks like. And this is a real foundation for you building a solid residual income where not only will you have success, but you will be helping all of these people have success because this duplicates. These people need to finish their core by getting two down here. These people need to get their core by getting binary qualified and it keeps on flowing and growing. This is just a different look at the same ideal. You becoming binary qualified, which is in the red, your personal people, and then them getting binary qualified in the purple, what we call binary certified. Sometimes you'll hear people call it. All of this is your core. Now, this is a bit of an advanced thing for some of you all, but these two down here underneath, these four on this side, that's connected to your personal person, this is their core. This is their core. When you have a core on each leg, this is the FID structure. Some of you all don't know about FID, but what it means is it's a very, very solid structure. If you achieve this in your business, you are really, really have a head start on success. And it's not something that in the beginning of us working TLC, we understood of how to build it this way. You have an advantage. All right, hitting ranks. This is something you should learn. You can snap a picture of this. You can go back and look at the video. You can look at the compensation plan in the back office. What does it take to achieve each rank? And then what are the benefits of those? What I did find out recently, and this is an update for all of you all to understand, I didn't know they were doing this. TLC hasn't announced they're doing this. When you hit a new rank now, whatever that new rank is, they give you 100 sample credits. And that's a beautiful thing. I just recently became national director. I got 100 extra sample credits. I love it. I can send out 20 new samples to people. But that's true for Azetta Crawford, who just became regional director. Fern Morgan just became executive director. She said the same thing happened to her. And so I know it happened to a couple of rising stars and directors as well. So again, but learn what it takes to get to these ranks. When I first joined TLC, I was out here doing math, figuring out, all right, what is it? So what is a regional director at minimum they could make? Okay, so 10,000 on their pay leg, 17%, that's $1,700 in a week for their binary pay. So not counting match pay, that person is pretty close to making $100,000 a year. So with match pay, a regional director is basically a six-figure residual income. I said that's a good goal to reach. That's a good goal to reach. Now, don't get me wrong, executive director, pretty solid goal also. 14% of 5,000, that's 700 a week on just your binary pay, not counting your match pay. About $50,000 a week you could easily make as an executive director. That's nothing to sneeze at, residual income wise. National director was a huge goal for me though, because there was one national director in the United States when I joined, and I knew that was literally a multiple six-figure a year position. And I'm thankful to have hit it, and I'm thankful that I'll be able to help some other people hit it as well. But learn the ranks. Set it and forget it. I talked about this a little bit, but I want to really zone in on this for just a brief moment. It's huge right now, especially with what's going on with TLC. TLC is highly encouraging people to have a smart ship. And there's videos that I have put out on YouTube that are, been around for 4 and 5 years with this ideal of set it and forget it. And what it means is to set your smart ship and forget about it. Just keep it active, keep it running. If you got to use points to do it, if you got to get out there and do some Uber Eats on the side, or deliver some Instacart or ship, if you got to do an extra side hustle to make sure, if you got to get out there and actually sell some tea to make sure that you cover your smart ship, do it, because it's you being dedicated to building your business. But if you get your team in the same mindset of having a 120 smart ship, that's 3 products. And if you want to sell it, get you 3 5-packs of tea, that's 15 packs of tea, whatever it sells for in your market, whether it's 15, 20, even 25 in some markets, you can make money from your smart ship. Or you can get 3 products that you want to take, like me, Delgada, CBD tea, and NRG. Those are my 3 products that I want. I actually switched it to the Freedom Kit recently because they give me back 10 free points when I get a kit. But when you have everybody in your organization set for a 120 smart ship, your business is going to grow 3 times faster. That's just period. Your residual income is going to grow 3 times faster. You're going to hit these ranks 3 times faster. There's going to be 3 times as many products inside of your team. It's just good for everybody. It's good for everything. So I did the math on all of these, and I'm going to give you a simple breakdown. To become a director, you need 1,000 left and 1,000 right. So these numbers focus on you just having 1,000 on your pay leg, on the leg that you get paid off of. So to maintain director numbers, which would be 1,000 in volume on a weekly basis, you would need, on a weekly basis, if everybody had a 40 volume smart ship, you would need 25 people to have a smart ship on a weekly basis for you to maintain director numbers, which would mean you need 100 people on just your pay leg. But if your team had 120 smart ships, you only need 9 people a week. That's a team of 36 people. I mean, that's a big difference. It's a huge difference, and it carries over executive director. 125 people a week versus 42 people a week. I mean, that's huge. National director, 500 people a week versus 167 a week. And this is to maintain these numbers. There's a difference between hitting a rank and maintaining a rank. That's 2 different things. We help people hit ranks. For you to maintain a rank, you have to build a team that uses products, that retails products. Remember what I was saying? There's no way around it. Products is the foundation of what we do. So set it and forget it. And if you don't understand this math, I have videos on YouTube that break it down. You can also reach out to me, because this is such an important thing for you to understand, because everybody understands it when they're at the top and they have a huge team. They want everybody to be 120. But sometimes they don't want to be 120 themselves until they until they get to regional and they have to. Be the person who leads the way. All right. More training and videos for you to use to build your business. YouTube.com/Philme3. PHILMEE and the number 3. That's Philip Birchfield. If you need Zoom presentations and trainings from different leaders, he puts a lot of stuff on there, so you could get all kinds of things. This is my YouTube channel. A lot of different trainings, a lot of different opportunity videos, a lot of different trainings specific to TLC, helping you invite, helping you do different things. Fit and Free TLC. So youtube.com/Fit and Free TLC. Follow TLC HQ on all of the social media channels. Make sure you're tuned into Facebook Live at 2 o'clock, literally every day of the week, every weekday of the week. They're giving away so much free stuff. There's no reason you shouldn't be on these lives. I mean, you just could win free money, literally. We have people on this team who have won $50, won free products, all the way up to winning $12,000 just for being present. Stephanie Block did. So here's the TLC phone number. You can make sure you contact them. So I'm going to get out of this. Give me a second here. We stop sharing that. All right, we're at 8:07. So I'm going to be brief in the back office and show a couple of things, and then I'm going to take some questions so we can get off of here, hopefully by 8:30, so you guys have some time to chill before we start our 9 o'clock Zoom with Pam. So this is the new TLC website for your customers. I mean, great website. If you haven't scrolled through it and checked it out, I mean, places for reviews. You should put reviews on the products yourselves. But I mean, this is just a great website. I used to build websites before I did TLC. When I swore I would never do network marketing, I used to build websites and do graphic design and do all that stuff. So I understand what it takes to build a website like this. And I promise you, this is an amazing website. But what I'm focusing on now is you getting into your back office. You have to hit login up here, and then you will put in your username and your password, and you will sign in. And it will look like this or something like this when you log in. Now, follow me here for a second. Everybody should understand this. In January, you will no longer be able to send samples from your back office. You will only be able to do it from the app. So if you're sending samples from the back office, start getting used to the app, because you will not be able to do it from the back office, only from the app moving forward. So when you are first logged in, this is to give you a snapshot of what everything looks like, how many sample credits you have, some of the different news things that are going on. I'll be scrolling right here. Your metrics here is about your personal volume, your customer volume, you being binary qualified, the different volume that has come in and different things like that on a weekly basis, your qualifying volume. Some of you all will have a bunch of different random sort of numbers here because customers create qualifying volume. I'm not a person who sends people to my website to place orders, so this always looks the same, 120 volume, for my SmartShip. And then over here is a really important thing, because this is where you see your carryover volume. And you can look right here right now and see my carryover volume when the week started was 5,100 in carryover volume. I wish that said 5 million. I wish that said 5 billion in carryover. It gives you a focus when you have one leg that's super strong. At the moment, my legs are relatively equal, all things considered. You can see that by the new volume that has come in. On the left side, 1,400 in volume. On the right side, 1,200 in volume has come in this week. And what this number down here is a total of 5,108 plus 1,435 equals 6543. The difference between 6543 and 1284 is 5259. What this means is this is projecting what my carryover volume would be if the week ended today. So this was what my carryover started with. This is what it would be if it ended today. So again, that's a bit of an advanced thing that I didn't necessarily want to cover on this particular one. What I wanted to say, when you first get in your back office, the first thing you should do is click on this right here. One thing you should do is you should click change settings. The first thing I want some of you guys to do is add a picture. So when somebody shows up to your website, they should see a picture of you so they know they're on the right website. Just add a photo of yourself. It's just simple. Click here, edit, and do it. But this will give you all your different things. If you needed to change your email, you actually have the ability to change this URL name as well. But I don't suggest that. What I want you to do is scroll down here to this binary placement preference and make sure you change these two. This will say outer left, put it on balanced build and click save changes. I'm going to cancel because I already had it on there. But most importantly is on the holding tank, click edit and it'll say on. It will say no, that it's not, that you don't want it on. You want to make sure you click and say yes, you do want it on, and save the changes. Again, I'm going to cancel because I already have it on. This holding tank is huge for you. If somebody goes to sign up on your website, or if a customer upgrades, you don't want TLC just to default put them somewhere. You want to decide where they go. And this holding tank is what's going to allow you to do that. And I'm going to talk about that real briefly. So when you have your holding tank on, this is also where you can set points, guys. You'll see mine is set at 100% at the moment. Here, I'm going to click edit just real quick. You can, I don't think flat rate works. If it does, it doesn't make sense because your commission is going to fluctuate. So having a flat rate always set doesn't make sense. Pick a percentage. And you can go all the way from 1% all the way up to 100 and anything in between there on how much you want your commission to go to points. Now, points operate just like cash. So let's say you make $100 for the week. If you have your points set to 50%, you're going to get $50 in cash loaded on your pay card in 14 days after the week closes. But if you have the 50% on points, it's going to come 7 days after the week closes. So points come 1 week earlier than cash does. And it spends the same. So if you're reinvesting in your business, if you're using points for your SmartShip, it's just a good move. So I'm going to cancel this because I already have it at 100. I'm going to keep moving. If you have questions about that, just stay on that. With your holding tank, it's really important because when you go in here to your business and you go to the binary tree viewer, of course, it'll be moving slow. This is going to allow you where it is that you want to place the person. And again, you're obviously going to have to find an empty space. One of the ways that you can do that is, let's say, let me see here. I want to get this list here. All right, so let's say that I wanted to put my new person under the Cunninghams. I would look for Peter and Dion Cunningham by searching their name on this search bar. I'm going to click here, and this is where they're at. And let's say I wanted to insert my person underneath their business. I see that they have more activity on their left side than they do on their right side. I would click this plus sign, and if I had someone in my holding tank, their name would show up right here. It would confirm that I wanted to place them, and I would hit OK, and it would place them there, and you would see a check mark. So it's allowing me to specifically put that person somewhere. So, but if I had it on a default thing, it would go to the bottom of the left side or the bottom of the right side. So wherever this is, it would put them right here. Or if I had a default to the right, it would go underneath this person here, right here. That's how a lot of people still build in TLC, straight down the left side or straight down the right side. And it's wrong. It's wrong. Be intentional about building your business. And I'll give you a very clear example because I don't want to stay on this too long. We had talked about this on the training the other night when I became national director. Zeta's side of my business was my pay leg, and I needed 20,000 in volume on this leg. Zeta had some carryover volume, but we wanted to get her to regional director. And so we figured out, obviously the first basic formula would be 10,000 on her right side, 10,000 on her left side. But she had some carryover volume, so did Jennifer Kendrick, who we were getting to executive director. But it was Shakira's business that I want to focus on. Shakira's business, early on, she had a few people that dropped off of the business side. I'm committed to helping the people in my core, but also the people who came back when we relaunched, when we did a thing. I made a commitment to these people right here, as well as a few others, but this is my core. One of the things about your core is that you're going to work to help build their business because it's building yours. I made a commitment to Shakira. And so helping her business is something that I was focused on. And so I knew that there was a spot inside of her business, actually two spots that needed some help. And it was in LaToya's business. And so I placed one person over here in Angela James, who built a core pretty fast on this leg right here. And we're going to go up, up, up. And so on the other side of LaToya's business, there was also some people that fell off, but LaToya had put her husband in the business. And so I said, I want to help build. And Felice had joined, and I put her in on the other side of LaToya's business. And that helped LaToya and as well as her husband, because I was intentional about building in Shakira's business and helping to build LaToya's business, who is one of her, if you look at it, it is part of her core. So helping her direct person, which also it helped Sonia Ford, which is a part of Shakira's core. It also helped Paula Ford, who is a part of LaToya's core. So it's helping the overall team, but again, specifically helping Shakira, but at the same time helping Zeta. So again, that's a bit advanced, but I know some of you all on here are looking for those types of things. But get to know your back office. I'm going to go to a couple other more simpler things that I want to make sure you guys know about. When you first join and you look at your back office, it's going to look almost just like this, except for TLC Pay is not going to be right there. Some of you all are brand new. If you logged in right now, it doesn't say TLC Pay yet because you have not earned like $20. Once you earn $20, TLC is going to send you an email. This TLC Pay link is going to show up. You're going to have to sign up for that TLC Pay account. They're going to send you a card. Once you click that link, it's going to send you to the HyperWallet website. And this is where you can log in and manage your TLC Pay. I don't often do this because I put my stuff in points. So this is not a normal thing for me, but this is where you can transfer to your bank account, to your PayPal account. But you also have a TLC Pay card that you can use as well. But this is where you have to sign up. This is how you get paid, so you should learn that aspect. And again, for those of you all who have teams or sponsoring people, make sure you let them know how we get paid. On a weekly basis, we run from Friday to Thursday. And the weekends on Thursday, they process the pay week on the next Thursday, and then they pay it out on the following Thursday. That's a 2-week cycle. Ends on Thursday, gets processed on Thursday, and then pays on Thursday. When they process it, that's when they pay the points out right away. So that's why you get it a week ahead of time. So we get paid every 2 weeks, but it gets paid weekly. Make sure you let people know that. They're coming up soon where they're going to start paying retail commissions on a daily basis. On the next day, you get a sale today, you get paid for it tomorrow. They're working on that for January of 2020. And then the resources is another big thing that I think people You should really get to know this section. Obviously, you should pick your language. This is a place where you can get help by literally sending an email or chatting with someone. But this is where you're going to find a lot of different things. Marketing tools, a presentation about full spectrum hemp extract, a Blossom overview presentation about our original IASO tea. These are certificates of analysis about our CBD products that show you what is the THC content as well as what is the CBD content. If you talk to somebody and they want some technical, fancy information about CBD and our CBD, these are tested by an independent laboratory, and these are the certificate results of those. Utilize this stuff, guys. Let them know we're serious. This ain't just any old CBD. And for those of you all who don't know, our packaging says something like 0.3% of THC, like it won't have more than that, or that's how much it has in it. It's actually 0.1%. Like we have less than what our packaging even says for anybody who's concerned about the THC content in our CBD products. But take a look at those. And here, business tools, all kinds of stuff. I'm going to click here. So you launch your business presentation. This is the business starter kit overview. I mean, here's the presentation that they use for the Tea Talk. Here's the family system presentation. If you want to do trainings, here's the details of the compensation plan. You hear us talk about the 6 ways we get paid, but this stuff is very detailed and spelled out, and you can read this information so that you're never surprised about what's going on. And let me go back here to marketing tools. No, English. So product info. This is the one I wanted to go to. This is big. You guys ask a lot of questions to people that you can find the answer to yourself. I love helping people. I love answering questions. I love helping people. And for those of you all who know me, you know that that's who I am. That's my heart. But I do not like answering questions for people that they could find out themselves. Do we ship to this country? Go look. Go look. How do you look, Scott? Hopefully you can see this, but you go to totallifechanges.com, you click shop, and then you scroll through the list of countries. That's how you find out. Can people join from this country? Go to become a member. Here's preferred customers. Here's Life Changer. Click signed up. Scroll through the list of countries. Find out if they can join. It's that easy. And I don't mind helping. But don't ask me questions that you can easily find yourself. But here's a list of our products. A lot of them have the values of what's going on with them that the packaging doesn't even have. It talks about the active ingredients and what it is that they do. These are super valuable for you to learn. But if you have a person that asks you about a product and you hand them this really nice product information sheet that breaks it down, again, they're going to get a different perception about you and your business. That little tea business all of a sudden becomes a little bit more professional. It really has the ingredients broke down. Now they can Google those ingredients themselves. You don't have to make any product claims. WebMD will do it for you. Other websites will do it for you. They'll be more excited and energized to try them out. Again, they have them for all the kits as well. So, all right, so I took too long on this part of it. Let me get out of this part. All right, so with that being said, there's tons of things in the back office. There's a lot of stuff for you to learn. Click your way around. I mean, on my business alone, for those of you all who don't have the premium back office, one of the reasons that I do and that any leader does is just for these quick reports alone. If I click this inactive list, it shows me anybody who's inactive in my business. And that includes the people who have smart ships this week. So I can keep an eye out to make sure of what's going on. upcoming promotions, another thing that we track and we look at. Your point account is back here. Again, your binary tree, your commissions, your volumes, all these different things that you can track. When you don't have the premium back office, a lot of this disappears. So keep an eye on your back office, learn it. I don't suggest that most of you don't need the premium back office. Some of you do that don't have it, but most of you don't. So I'm going to stop sharing. I am going to say thank you for your patience. I am actually going to leave it recording for any questions that we have, and we're going to take, because I took so long on that part, we're going to take 9 minutes at most, up to 8:35 to take questions. So if anybody has any questions, you can either raise your hand or you can unmute yourself or you can type in the chat and just say my name if you unmute yourself, and I'll acknowledge you so you can ask your question. Any questions? There's no bad questions. If you inbox me afterwards, I'm just going to laugh at you and not answer your question. So since you could ask it right now.
Scott, I have a question about the newsletter. I have yet to find it, and I have signed up for it. And whenever I go back down and go, okay, well, I'm just going to do it again, it'll say you're already signed up for the newsletter, but yet I don't ever see it.
You've checked your spam and everything?
Well, it's on a Gmail account, so maybe I haven't really checked too much in that. Maybe I'll
check on that, because it comes every Wednesday faithfully. It's something, right. Every Wednesday it faithfully. And again, if it's something that got in the spam loop in the beginning, it's going to stay there until you go in and acknowledge that it's not spam. So take a look in your spam folder. There's also an unwanted folder on Gmail. Spam and unwanted, they're two different things. So keep looking there, because they're very consistent. Every Wednesday night it comes out.
And is it listed as TLC newsletter?
I'm going to pull up my personal Gmail real quick, just so I can look at what the title of it would be. Most of the time it comes with different titles on it, but I believe it comes from info@totallifechanges.com. And so let me just scroll back here to see if I can find what it is. No, it's no worries, because it's very, very valuable. So let's see here. Yeah, it comes from info@totallifechanges.com. Again, the last one, the title of it was TLC Goes Global. If you search on your Gmail on the little top bar, info@totallifechanges.com, any emails that were sent to you will show up, even I believe if it's in spam. So you should be able to find that.
Okay, I'll do that. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Great question. Any other questions? The newsletters are great to stay connected. You can see the current ranks, any promotions that they're doing. They're giving you heads up about products that are coming. So the newsletters are great. We are actually, I don't know about you guys, I get excited to read the newsletter. I get really excited. Any other questions? I know I didn't do that good a job. Y'all quit being scary. Just go ahead and ask.
Hello?
Hey, what's going on, Miss Dion? Go ahead and ask your question.
Hey, Scott, how you doing? My question is about the SmartShip. So you contacted me, I think, last month and said that my SmartShip had came due, right?
Uh-huh.
But when I looked at it, let me make sure I'm saying this right. It seems like when the SmartShip comes due is, oh Lord, I done lost it. When a SmartShip is due and I need to pay it, it's showing that I can't even say it right. Oh, excuse me.
You're okay. I think what happened, I remember the scenario, so I may be able to articulate what it is sometimes, and this is true for many of us, and some of us have made a mistake along the way. Some of us didn't know, whatever the case is, we misclicked, whatever it is. Our join date is typically the date that our SmartShip is always going to be due forever. But sometimes we place an order somewhere in between there and we switch up the date. It always has to be within 30 days. And so let's say if your normal SmartShip date was the 15th of the month, you can order on the 14th and stay active, but you can't order on the 16th and stay active. So I think what your situation was, Ms. Dion, was the date got switched up a little bit where there was a gap. You had a SmartShip scheduled, but there was like a 3-day gap that would have caused you to be inactive, and as well as the person who sponsored you, it would have affected them as well.
Okay, yeah, you said it right for me, Scott.
No, I remember the scenario again. I mean, I thank God for a good memory. Sometimes I don't even know how I remember it, but I appreciate it. Again, SmartShip is, again, it's one of those things that many times people just don't understand. So I'm glad that you asked the question, because it is something that many times we don't make clear enough, and we don't even tell sometimes new people that sign up that they are required to place an order every 30 days. It's never an intention that somebody would leave out that information. I think that sometimes we just forget to communicate that aspect, that you sign up by ordering one or more products at a starter kit, and then you have to order every 30 days. So make sure that you're communicating that with new people so that there's nothing, left out. I think, Austin, you had your mic open. Did you want to say something, or was I mistaken? I probably was mistaken.
Hey, Scott.
Yes, sir.
So along that same vein, and maybe you answered, I'm kind of multitasking. If you place an order in between those 30 days, does it automatically change your SmartShip, or are you making that order and then it's still going to take your SmartShip on a regular day?
Well, unless you change and reschedule your SmartShip, it's going to take your SmartShip always regularly. If you place an order, again, I'll use the 15th as an example. Say your normal SmartShip date is the 15th, but you placed an order on the 1st. Your SmartShip won't change, but you can change your SmartShip to the 1st of the next month. So you could literally change it so that it would update for you, because you don't need an order.
Okay, but you have to physically change that yourself.
That's correct. Yeah, any changes to your SmartShip is always going to come through you, never through TLC.
All right, 10-4. Thank you, sir.
Yep. Good question. Any other questions? Hey, go ahead, Rick.
One thing that I've done, and it helps me and it helps my downline too, is I printed off the enrollment form, and then what I've done is I've written right on the enrollment form first order. And then underneath that, 2 or 3 lines, I put on your monthly SmartShip. So when they're going to enroll with the enrollment form, it's right there in front of them. And then I just photocopy that. And so they get to see, whether it's enrolling or somebody else, that both items are sitting there. So it's kind of a reminder for them that it has to be done.
It's good stuff. And I think we don't do enough physical sort of in front of people applications. So I think it's a great thing. And even if you're not meeting with people face to face, what Rick is saying is a great idea. After you get a new person to sign up, send them a welcome email. Send them something from you, not just from TLC, that says, welcome, I'm excited. Your SmartShip date is going to be this date. This is where you can connect with the team group. This is where you can get on the Zooms every day of the week at 4 o'clock and 9 o'clock, or whatever applies to you. And again, anything specific to your team, it's a great idea. And I appreciate you sharing with that, Rick, because I don't think we do enough communicating outside of what TLC sends people. I think putting stuff in people's hands really is a good reminder. So great stuff, Rick. Thank you so much. And way to go on those abs, buddy.
Thanks.
Any other questions? If you don't say it quick, we're going to get out of here so you guys can have some time before we get on to support Miss Pam at 9 o'clock on the next Zoom.